Hey everyone. Today we're going to tackle a really big question. What does it actually take to be ready for AI? We're going to push way past the usual talk about, coding and technical stuff to get to something much, much deeper. It's a whole framework for genuine collaboration. So let's get right into it. So, when you hear the term AI ready, what does that really mean for you and your career? I mean, if your first thought is just about mastering the latest tools, you're honestly only seeing a tiny piece of a much bigger puzzle. The answers we usually hear, they're just not cutting it anymore.
Right, because true readiness, it isn't just one skill. It's more like a whole constellation of capabilities, all working together. This means we need a much better way to think about how we can truly collaborate with these powerful new systems, not just, operate them.
So, how do we do that? Well, we need a completely new way of thinking about it. We need a model that helps us understand and develop the full spectrum of skills for working with AI. And that is exactly what brings us to our framework. And that's where the PAICE framework comes in. It's a really simple but incredibly powerful guide that breaks AI readiness down into 5 clear, connected dimensions. So what does PAICE stand for? It's pretty easy. We've got P for performance, A for accountability, I for integrity, C for collaboration, and E for evolution. Try to keep these in mind, because when you put them all together, they create a complete picture of what it really takes to succeed in this new AI-driven world. All right, so let's dig into each of these 5 dimensions. Really understanding what they are, and just as important, why they matter, that's the first step to leveling up your own skills. Okay, first up is performance. Now, you should think of this as the absolute foundation. It's all about your real, tangible ability to get things done and see actual results when you're using AI tools. And as you can see, performance is so much more than just knowing how to use a chatbot. We're talking about real proficiency with different tools, being able to craft prompts that actually work, making sure the output quality is high, and getting genuine efficiency gains. Let's be honest, without this practical skill, the other 4 dimensions, they just don't have a leg to stand on. But what happens once you start getting those results? Well, that leads us right to A, accountability. This is all about ownership. It's about responsibility. It's about remembering that you, not the AI, are always in the driver's seat. And this part is absolutely critical. AI transforms human responsibility. It doesn't just get rid of it. So that means being crystal clear on who owns the final product, having the good judgment to accept or reject what the AI gives you, and taking total responsibility for the quality. This is what keeps AI as a powerful tool, and not just a convenient excuse when things go wrong. From accountability, we make a really natural jump to our 3rd dimension, I for integrity. This is where we get into the heavy stuff, the ethics of using AI responsibly and professionally. Integrity is what builds trust. Plain and simple. It means being aware of the ethical side of things, actively looking for and fixing bias in AI outputs, protecting sensitive data, and being totally honest about how much AI was involved in your work. This is how we make sure we don't cause any unintended harm. Number 4 is C for collaboration. Because, look, having individual AI skills is great, but their real power, their true potential, is only unlocked when you integrate them into a team. This is where you can become what we call an AI force multiplier. Think about it. Are you bringing AI into your team's everyday work? Are you sharing what works and what doesn't? And helping your colleagues learn? Because effective collaboration literally multiplies the impact of AI across the entire organization. It's about lifting everybody up together. And finally, we have E for evolution. And this might just be the most important dimension of all, because it's all about your ability to adapt and grow right alongside this incredibly fast-moving technology. I mean, AI is evolving at a breakneck pace. That means the people who really cultivate an adaptive mindset, the ones who commit to always be learning, and the ones who aren't afraid to experiment, those are the people who are going to stay ahead. Anyone who has a fixed mindset, they're going to get left behind. It's as simple as that. So there you have it. Performance, accountability, integrity, collaboration, and evolution. That's the PAICE framework. But here's where it gets really interesting. Almost nobody develops these 5 skills evenly. So let's talk for a second about what your personal readiness profile might look like. The truth is, most of us have a pretty uneven profile. For example, maybe you're an absolute rock star at performance. You get incredible results from AI, but maybe your accountability needs a little bit of work. Understanding your unique shape, Your personal PICE/EIC profile is the key to focusing your growth where it's going to matter the most. And check this out. This gives us two perfect examples of why this balance is just so important. Say you've got high performance but low accountability. Well, that can lead to you just blindly trusting the AI and making huge unchecked errors. On the flip side, what if you have tons of integrity but your performance skill is low? You know what the right thing to do is, but you don't have the skills to actually make it happen. You see how they all have to work together? And that brings us to our final, and maybe most crucial, takeaway here. Becoming AI ready isn't some finish line that you cross one day and you're done. It is not a one-time achievement. The tech is always changing, which means your readiness has to evolve right along with it. This takes honest self-assessment and a real commitment to keep learning, not just in one area, but across all 5 of these dimensions. So, I'll leave you with this question to really think about. When you look at those 5 dimensions, performance, accountability, integrity, collaboration, and evolution, which one is your greatest strength right now? And, maybe even more importantly, which one is your biggest opportunity for growth?